One of the more common types of parasitic seed plants is mistletoe. Mistletoe grows on vascular trees. Normally it is woody type trees. What you see are tufts of material inside of the tree canopy. After the tree has dropped its leaves, these tufts of material continue to be green. They continue to look like they are functioning normally. These happen to be Bradford pears. You can see the green up in the canopy. However, the Bradford pear has already lost all its leaves. These are water oaks. You see that the leaves have dropped off of the tree. However, they have these rather large masses of photosynthetic material on the inside of it. These are the mistletoes. They're quite problematic on many different crop plants. Pecan has a big problem with them. This particular group that's found in North Florida is in the genus Phaeodendron. You see that it comes down and it has basically rooted into the tree itself, where it produces a haustorium that is able to remove nutrients from the tree in order to be able to nourish itself as it grows. If you look at the part where it gets into the plant, you see that the branches are very congested. It weakens the wood tremendously. The wood that is produced by the mistletoe itself is not a very strong wood. It often will create death of the branch. It gets to be quite problematic. If you start looking at the junction, you will see that it's swollen. This is where you start to get the haustorium. This is a branch that has been cut open, and you can see the brown wood is actually the material from the pear. The whiter material is actually from the mistletoe. You can see how it's growing in, it's implanting itself in various parts. The other thing you can see is the stem is acentric at this point. The center of the stem is down near the bottom of the photograph. The top part's where the mistletoe got in and started to modify the wood so that it could absorb nutrients. It caused a much greater thickening. If you trace around the outer edge, you can see where the bark of the plant stops and the bark of the mistletoe starts. That would be at about 10 o'clock that you can see the transition from bark of the plant to bark of the mistletoe. This is another picture. You can see where the wood of the plant is a kind of a lighter yellow or green. The wood of the mistletoe is this absolutely whitish sorting. It doesn't look like it's got much chlorophyll in there, even though this is a hemiparasite because it does produce its own chlorophyll. We can see that particular format. This shows you a picture with an excellent haustorium. You can see on the bottom part where you've got your twig that's coming out. You can see how the twig is kind of centralized in the bottom part. You can see how the bark has been spread out on here. This piece of haustorium sits on top of it. It shows you this almost excellent sort of indication of where the haustorium comes in. These are flowering plants. They produce fruit. This is the fruit of the mistletoe. The flower is very tiny and indistinct, but the fruit is quite prominent. This actually will be consumed by birds. It'll go through the digestive system of the bird. The seed will come out. Normally, the bird will be sitting high in a tree. When it does, when a bird takes flight, it tends to evacuate the bottom part of its intestine. And as it does that, the seed will come out, will be stuck there. If a bird doesn't eat these, they're kind of gooey and will drop off. They will stick on the way down. So you can see things like this. Notice they are quite showy and quite white in color. We have what we call dwarf mistletoe. Dwarf mistletoe is a holoparasite. This is dwarf mistletoe on a conifer. You can see the only thing it seems to be doing is producing lots and lots and lots of seed. It's creating a lot of damage on the conifer. It is not photosynthetic, so it's stealing everything it can from the plant. This gets to be quite a problem in there. The only way you can remove these is to cut down below the haustorium. Doing that, you remove the entire plant. Be careful not to spread the seeds. You'd take that and you would discard it. This is a dwarf mistletoe. You can see here that it looks almost like it's dead, but this is not. It's just taking nutrients out of the plant. It takes everything it needs out of the plant. These are the seeds of the mistletoe. What you can see around the outer part of it, it's got these little fibrous materials that are able to grab hold of things. As they grab hold, they will actually stick on. You can also see how these are almost pre-germinated that you've got the outer part up there already starting on its way out, even though the seeds have not been deposited. This is from the U.S. Forest Service. What you see is trees that have absolutely been devastated by mistletoe. What they're doing is they're stealing nutrients. If it gets in the right spot of it, it's going to steal enough nutrients that the tree is going to be weakened. When the tree is weakened, it's going to succumb. Mistletoes are a rather large problem on a lot of different types of plant.